What can we learn about chronic illness from the story of Genesis? Now, before you scroll, I promise this is not going to be preachy. Just bear with me. I promise the payoff is there, okay? So we are going to Genesis 41, chapter 1 through 7, where Pharaoh asked Joseph to interpret his dreams, because in his dream he saw 7 fat cows, and then those 7 fat cows were eaten by 7 skinny cows, and then he saw 7 barrels of wheat and 7 barrels of thin wheat eating the 7 barrels of good wheat, and he asked Joseph to interpret it. And Joseph's interpretation was that you're going to have 7 good years, and after that will follow 7 bad years. And in order to get through those 7 bad years, you're going to have to take a percentage of what you have in those good years and put them away, store them for the bad years. And Pharaoh did that, and indeed, Egypt prospered while the rest of the world had a famine. So what does this have to do with chronic illness, right? Well, with functional neurological, at least, we have something called the boom and the bust cycle. That means that we have our booms where we have these bursts of energy where our symptoms are low, where we feel great, and then we have busts where we feel like crap. And while we are in those boom cycles, we're like, oh my God, I feel amazing. Let me do everything that I possibly can. Like all the things that I've been putting, to the sideline because I couldn't do because I wasn't feeling good. Let me clean my house. Let me go out. Let me do everything I possibly can. But what happens? We ignore those symptoms of fatigue. We ignore those symptoms of I'm starting to not feel so good until we crash and boom, bad, bust. And I feel like it's like that with a lot of chronic illnesses. You start, it's not always like you feel like crap. Sometimes you feel really good. And when you feel really good, you try to take advantage of it as much as possible. But I implore you to take those good times, but don't overdo it. Save a little bit of that energy from those good times, because those good times are not going to last. You trick yourself into thinking, oh my God, this is it. I'm doing better. Everything is great. Let me just go do whatever I can. But you're going to wear yourself out, and you're going to hurt yourself, and you're going to bust. So, like Joseph told Pharaoh, save a little bit of that good time. Save a little bit of that energy for the bad times. Because if you just take all that good energy and spend it, you're not going to have it for when the bad times come. The bad times are going to always inevitably come. That is the nature of chronic illness. So let's learn from what Joseph told Pharaoh. And even if we are feeling good in the moment, don't overdo it. Do not overdo it. Do not overdo it. Save your energy. Save a little bit of your energy, because eventually you might crash. And you're going to need that energy to make that crash landing a little smoother.